And a performance from Bill Robinson and Friends. Give it up, everybody.
Thank you very much. We're going to pretty much play all tunes that I've written over the years. In fact, they're all on that new CD that we've got here. That one was called The Festival Rag, and I wrote that. Pushing. I'm not that old, but anyway, I think it was maybe 26 years ago I wrote that. And
when I was a baby, right?
Yeah. I should introduce everybody. Does everybody know who we are up here? No? Oh yeah, you gotta know. I mean, I go as Bill Robinson and Friends, and I never know who my friends are going to be. But I'll tell you, and I hate to tell you what he does. I gave him a cap of Bill Robinson and Friends, and he scratched the ass off. He said he was the only friend I had left. Anyway, we're going to do another tune here. There's a story. Whenever I come up with music, there's always a story behind it. But I'd hate to keep you here all night if I had to do this. So, but anyway, this next tune is called "Louie's Back in Town." That didn't sound very good, did it?
Oh. And it's got two beginnings. Two beginnings to this.
Thank you. This next one, in fact, we just put it together, well, just a few months ago. I live in St. Charles, Illinois, and anyway, we kind of like some of the bluesy tunes and different stuff. And if you notice, sometimes I get a reputation for playing a little fast. In fact, sometimes my slow tunes are a little fast. But anyway, even some of the bluesy tunes. But this is one that, this is my right hand, man. I hate this. Actually, I don't know if I could introduce everybody real quick. But anyway, this is Greg, Monty, Paul, Mike, Susie, Morgan, Sherry. Am I getting Judy, Katie, and Monica? And so
It's nice to meet you all.
But anyway, they're all my family and friends. So we have a great time, and so. But anyway, we have this fun too. If you like the CDs, if you like the music we're doing, we have this fun called the PSBR Fund, and it stands for the Prevention of Starvation of Bill Robinson. But anyway, we'd like to do this new tune. It's one called the St. Charles Dulcimer Blues. Now this next tune we're going to play is one. It's kind of a long story, so I'm going to give you a modified version of it. But I had a article from a violin maker over in Europe, and he took this violin and he put graphite all over it, and he ended up saying that it was close to Stradivarius. I said, fine. So at that time I was building dulcimers, so I took pieces, just the cheapest old plywood I could, and I made a box. And I bought a can of graphite powder, and I took that powder and I just rubbed it all over that instrument. And I just rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and finally I really had to rub to get it off my hands. But I got it in there, and so I took 20 coats of lacquer, 20 coats of polyurethane, and finally I went to Walmart and I bought the cheapest old black enamel paint I could spray, and I sprayed it. But before I sprayed it with the paint, every time I pick it up, my hands were black. I had the biggest pencil you ever seen. So anyway, the paint did the trick. So as it was the ugliest thing you ever seen. I mean, it was ugly. It sounded good, but it was ugly. And so anyway, I had a lady that she came to him. She wanted to build a big instrument like this. So I told her, I said, well, it might be a year before I get it to you. And so she said, well, have you got one I can borrow? And I said, not really. The only thing I got that ugly black one. And I said, so she said, well, that's okay. It says it'll be fine. And I said, well, yeah, but there's 2 conditions. I said, number 1, you don't play it out, and you don't tell people where it came from. So anyway, she played it in church, and I think she played it behind the curtain. But anyhow, after she got her instrument, I got the old black one back. I never done anything with it, and so anyway, she was at a couple of our festivals, and she says, hey, how's Grace doing? And I said, well, Grace? I don't know Grace. Oh, yeah, the old black dulcimer. I named her Grace. And I thought, son of a gun, you know. And what am I going to do here? So anyway, I said, well, Grace is about ready to lose her life. And said, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. Would you sell her to me? Let me have it. I said, no, you ain't no way you're going to get that dulcimer. And so come to find out, later as it went on, she finally talked me out of it. And I said, all right, I'm going to loan it to you, but I want it back when you're done with it. So anyhow, I come to find out she was fighting cancer, and she took Grace. She said Grace gave her another year's life. So guess what? Grace is still living. so thank you. But anyway, so I've got the instrument sitting around there, and I wrote the story out and put it in there. I thought, well, I need to have a tune for it. So I made this tune up, and guess what I called it? Grace. And it goes like this. Thank you. Now, we're going to do one quick number here for you. And this is another one, and there's a story behind it, but I'm not going to tell it to you. But it's called Stepping Out with George, and it goes like this. Have a great day.
Bill Robinson and friends.